Welcome back, everybody. Consciously Ka here, not in the kitchen today because I am in my craft room about to tell you about my 14-day fasting experience. I'm so proud of myself because there's no way that anybody could have told me that a person who loves to eat, that I would shut down eating for 14 days. I mean, it was not an easy experience, but I'm happy that I made it through it. And actually, I still have some hours to go because I am actually on my 14th day right now as I'm recording this video. But as far as I'm concerned, I made it. I'm going to make it to tomorrow at noon. So I'm going to talk to you today about the three benefits of why I did this fast. Then I'm going to tell you about the symptoms I experienced. And then I'm going to tell you what is up next for me with extending the benefits of doing this fast. So stay tuned and we'll get right into it. So, reason number one that I reason number one and the benefit of doing this was for mental clarity, um, spiritual attunement, mental focus, everything of the mind. And so when you are not eating, or when I was not eating, I was super uber clear. I was super connected to my body. I could hear myself breathing. I was able to let thoughts in and they run right out. I was able to sleep better, which I really don't have an issue. Anybody who knows me knows I'm gonna get my sleep. But the thing is when I go to sleep, I was able to go with a clear mind. And sometimes before I would like watch TV before I went to sleep. Well, this time I did not do that. I intentionally went to sleep clear minded. So that was one of the things that was really important for me to start mastering my mind. Because y'all, when you master your mind, you truly master everything. All the temptations, just you can do anything. And I'll give you one example is when I started my fast, I ate horribly, and it wasn't the kind of horribly like, ooh, I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna get that. I ate horribly based on the circumstances that I was in the day before I fasted. And I had chips. And those chips were the last thing I remember putting in my mouth, but I had to cut my eating time off so that I could get ready for my fast. Y'all, those chips, I thought about those chips, I know for 3 days in a row. I just thought about, ooh, I just want to taste the chips. I want to taste them. They're right here in the house. They're with me. They're right there. Well, after thinking about those chips for 3 days, then the thoughts just went away. Like they just went away. And when I was on my eighth day, or eighth or ninth day, I realized that I needed to clean out my pantry and start getting rid of some old stuff so that I can bring in my new food when I start my refeeding. I'm like, oh dang, those chips are still here. And I said, wow, any other day, if I have something in the house, I'm going to eat it. So that's why I was always prior, I wouldn't bring certain things into the house because I know that if it's in my house, it's in my mouth. Well, not this time. I those chips are still in there. They are still in there, y'all. And I could care less. I could care less about those chips. But what I learned from that experience is that I mastered my mind and I said no. When I think about those chips, I'll go look for healthy recipes. I divert my attention. And every time I think about them, I divert my attention to look at something that is more pleasing to my body besides those chips. So, y'all, that mastering your mind, that mental focus and clarity was the number one, and is my number one reason why I wanted to do this, because I know if it didn't help anything else, which that is not the case, it would definitely help me to get my mind right. So that is reason number one. So let's get into reason number two. So reason number two, Reason number two is for it's for cell regeneration basically. Doing it for a on a cellular level. On a cellular level, when you stop eating, your body goes into this process called autophagy. And autophagy is basically when the cells start eating themselves and regenerate cells. And so it's like your body's just natural intelligence of wait, we're not having to worry about digestion and getting overworked by that we can actually clean house up here. So it's your body's way of cleaning itself out, and it does this. Autophagy could take place anywhere between 18 hours and 4 days of fasting. That's what I read. I don't know, but I do know that for me, the experience was okay. My skin's clear. You know, my teeth are whiter. My I know that I noticed some things about my urine that speaks to this, because I think they put going through the process of ketosis is connected with autophagy, but I'm not real deep into the science of it, because again, I'm a person that will try things and then see how I feel about it, and then go into the depth of the science, the deep part of the science of it. But I know that autophagy, a lot of people who fast, a lot of fasters bring that up, and I thought, I bet the body can heal itself, because think about it. When when you get sick, you lay down and you don't feel like eating. Your body is telling you, pump the brakes. We got to get you together. And so then you're able to heal um, while you're in a fasted state. But many people don't make that connection and think about, hey, when I get sick, even animals, when they get sick, they stop eating. They may eat some grass because the grass is going to help bring things out. But when you stop eating, you're able to get out of your body's way and let it heal itself. And that is reason number two. And really, I can kind of clump that in with reason number one, because those are some serious benefits for just fasting in general. So let's get into my third reason of why I did this fast. So, reason number three. Reason number three is the third reason, because in the past, when I've led with this reason, I did not learn about the process of what I was doing. So this is my third reason, not my first reason, but my third reason, because I really wanted to experience this without this reason being number one on my mind. And that reason is weight loss. Weight loss and reduction of inflammation. And of course, doing this for 14 days, I've lost approximately nearly 19 pounds, 18.8 pounds. And of course, when you lose weight fasting, you know, at first it's about water weight, and then you actually lose some fat loss. You have some fat loss, but I'm not sure, honestly, how much, if I'll gain any of this weight back when I instantly start eating. But I know that I will anticipate just moving forward regardless, because regardless of the weight, those number one and two reasons, those are everything to me. You know, they're everything to me. Weight loss is something that when I continue on learning and growing, that will naturally be a byproduct of it. And I really prefer it that way, because I'm tired of the whole yo-yo, doing this to lose weight, or doing, you know, everybody's focus on YouTube when they're talking about weight loss, and they're having you do things that are from the outside in. I'm trying to work on my health from the inside out. It may take longer. It may not be the most popular strategy. It may not get me these just, ooh, I lost 100 pounds in 3 months. No, that's not what I'm after. I'm after my health and longevity. When my children start having children, I want to be able to go walk with them, go to the park, you know, run around and see after them. And so the journey that I'm on is not a quick one, and it's a journey, you know. So weight loss was my number three reason. And speaking to weight loss, I'm going to now talk to you about what I plan to do next to continue to reap the benefits of what I've just completed with this fasting. Okay, so the actual thing now that I want to talk to you about is the symptoms that I experienced during my fasting. And one of them you can probably already tell because my mouth gets dry easily. So that's one thing I experienced. I experienced the thick layer of whatever on my tongue. I experienced, very high lethargy. Not the first, especially the first 3 days. I was very, very, very tired. I was very tired, and I really do believe that that had a lot to do with what I was doing just before those chips, basically. Those chips and that burrito that I ate from Chipotle, that was a bean burrito. Those are very dehydrating foods. And so I just wasn't properly hydrated before starting this fast. And so I think that had a lot to do with me having no energy. And it was strange because when I did my 7 day fast, I was in and out of tiredness, and I was able to do some little projects around the house. This time I would do things in increments. I go for 5 minutes, then I'm sitting down. I did a little, but not a lot. The biggest thing I did every day was water my plants because it was something spiritual about that to me. And so I would water my plants, prune my plants, and I'm in Texas, so state of 109 degrees. That's business as usual for us. So that would kind of wear me out because I'd get out there early in the morning, but it would still be almost 90 degrees. So um, that's one of the things that I experienced along with those first 3 days. I didn't really have the energy to drink as much water as I should have been drinking. It wasn't until about the third or fourth day that I actually got to drinking a gallon of water consistently and up until now. And so I was very dehydrated, I'm sure. Um, but here's the interesting thing that happened. So when I did my first fast, I had bowel movements for like the first 3 days. Okay. This time I was on day 5 or 6, one of those days. I had no bowel movement, and I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel strange about that, although many people say that that is common for your bowels to slow. And so I was like, but I just don't feel right. I'm not feeling right. So I had to go and get me some colon cleanse. And the colon cleanse powder that I use is from CJ Haru. So shout out to him. Um, he has a colon cleanse powder that I use, regularly. And you put it in juice for a reason. Well, because I wasn't drinking anything but water, I had to put it in water. Took that colon cleanse powder at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and by like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, I actually produced a full bowel movement. Like I produced a full bowel movement. I was like, see, I knew it was something in there. I knew it was something. And then instantly I felt a little bit better. So I got back in the bed, and then I got up again because then it was more coming. And I'm like, wait, I just wanted to, more started coming. And then finally, like 3 or 4 more bathroom visits later, it started turning into like more of kind of liquidy consistency. So after that, of course, I was up all night. So the very next day, I was a little lethargic again, but it went away. And again, I started drinking my water again because that might have slightly dehydrated me some. And I probably shouldn't have done that, but it was just my feeling to do it because I was like, I'm going off of what I did previously in my 7 day fast. And in my 7 day fast, like I said, I had bowel movements, and they were just kind of like how this one was with the colon cleanse. It starts out solid. It was solid for a couple of days, and then toward the end, it was like this liquidy stuff. And so that was the same thing that happened, except I had to take the colon cleanse powder to make it happen. So that was one of the things that I experienced. But pretty much by like the ninth day going forward, maybe the eighth day going forward, my energy level was back up. I still, needed to rest in between things, but my energy level was back up. I was able to work because I work from home, so I was able to work and focus, but I didn't have to do a whole bunch of movement. So those are basically, I think that's all that I experienced. Nothing's too super crazy. Every now and then when I would get up too fast or something, or if I'm out, when I was out in the yard and I'd be down on my knees cutting my elephant ears, when I come up I feel slightly dizzy, but I don't know if that's something that was from fasting, or that could happen even when you're eating. But for the most part, the symptoms were not as horrible as I thought they were going to be. I mean, the tiredness was probably the number one thing that got me, because I'm used to moving around and doing things. And there were some days that I just really did not do anything. I just needed to sit in my bed or sit in my recliner, and that's what I did. But at any rate, I'm still very happy and pleased with the experience and would do it again. Of course, this time I'll make sure that I'm properly hydrated. And of course, as you can see, water. I did dry very easily in my mouth, but that just lets me know to drink some water. So that is my experience. And now we can go on and talk about what I'm going to do next. Okay, so what's next for me? What I plan to do. Number one, when I did my 7-day fast, when I was done fasting, I just started eating. I ate some watermelon and then I started eating. This time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to really focus on high water content fruits and veggies when breaking my fast. I'm going to make sure that I focus on getting that first before I start eating cooked food. Now, I don't really have a plan except for the first day. I know that I got 72 peaches, y'all, and that's a whole nother story. But I have a lot of peaches, I have a lot of watermelon, and I'm going to make myself a cucumber salad, because out of all the recipes I was looking at online during this past 14 days, the one thing that stood out to me was cucumbers and tomatoes. I like cucumbers and tomatoes. I actually like them raw. So I'm going to make that and eat that for a couple of days along with some fruit. Other than that, I don't have a plan for what other high water content things that I will be eating, but I know for sure I will be eating high water content meals and just taking it from there. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust my intermittent fasting schedule. Now, previously, I was doing the 16 hours of fasting and 8 hours of eating. Now, I'm going to do the 18 hours of fasting and the, what is that? 6 hour eating window. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Six hour eating window, and I'll adjust the times as I need to day by day. But the point here is that I'm going to reduce the time that I'm consuming food, so my body has more time to use its intelligence to continue to heal me. The other thing that I'm going to do, which I will be doing that next week, is I will be doing a gallbladder and liver flush. And that, if you look up, go Google or look up, I have a book on it and I forget. I actually have this book on it, The Gallbladder and Liver Flush, The Miracle Cleanse. I'm going to follow his protocol for doing my liver and gallbladder cleanse, and so I can still eat while doing this. So I'm going to do that right after my fast. And the fun thing about it is I've encouraged my son and my husband to do it with me. So that will be really cool, that they will start out cleaning their liver as opposed to I started out fasting, but they're going to start out cleaning their liver. So, and gallbladder. So I'm excited about that, and I'm sure it will be a success because my mind is right, and I know it will. So that's my experience, y'all. I am so again so proud of myself because that was a huge accomplishment for me. Even seeing all the people who have done 30-day fast, 40-day fast, I'm like, shoot, I did 14. Ah, I know they like, girl, you a rookie. Sit down somewhere. But I'm excited for me. I'm excited for me, and I'm on a natural high from it, and I'm excited to continue on my health journey. I can't make any promises about anything, but what I can do is promise myself progress. This is a journey. I'm continuing to learn and evolve about different things. I mean, there's so much. I was talking to a friend last night about this. There are so many ways, so many lifestyle ways of eating that it's just hard to get on one of them because it's just hard. So I'm going to do what is best for Ka. I'm going to take what resonates with me and leave the rest and just do me. And I encourage you to do the same. I'm not telling anybody to go out and do a fast. My aunt just actually called me and said, Katisha, you better promise me you won't do this again. I'm like, why? It's been helpful to me. Why would I not do something again that is clearly helping and I feel good doing it? And she was like, well, she had no reason, so whatever. But and I love my aunt, I do. And so I am just like I said, my advice to everybody is to do what's good for you, not telling anybody to go plant-based, go because like I said, I always go back to the animals in nature. You don't see the lion eating plants, you don't see the gorilla eating other animals. That is how they naturally live their lives. And so for us as humans, it's kind of the same way. Some people believe differently. Well, I believe that plant-based is best for me, and I don't want to be responsible for killing animals, but not everybody feels that way, and you can't judge them or criticize them for how they are. You can just be the best you and just shine your light. That's it. That is it. So y'all, I am going to be signing off right now. I want to leave you with this. Love yourself. Love yourself, whatever that looks like to you, whatever feels right to you. Love yourself. And then in all you do, remember to lead with love. Thank you for watching and have a beautiful day.